Hey, what's cooking, Jay?
Hello everyone, thanks for joining us again. And today we're making a sourdough bread. The sourdough bread is made with rye flour and spelt flour, and it's easy to make. And please don't be intimidated to make it, because the instructions are straightforward. All you need is a bit of time and you will be 100% successful. Here's one I made a few days ago, and it's still beautifully to use. You just cut a piece and you eat it like it is, or you toast it. It's low GI, and you know what's in it as ingredients. There is no fillers, there is no additives. It's really a beautiful bread. To start the process of the sourdough, you have to prepare it the night before. So what you do is you take your sourdough starter, which everyone has got in the fridge, out of the fridge, take a bowl, put in 200 mils of warm water, 20 grams of the sourdough starter, mix it, and then add 200 grams of rye flour. Mix it all up, cover it with cling wrap, and let it sit on the kitchen bench between 8 and 12 hours. By that time, it will have doubled in size. And then the next morning, you start the process, what we do now. The ingredients you require for the bread are 250 gram rye flour, wholemeal rye flour, 250 gram spelt, it's also a wholemeal spelt flour, 100 gram of plain flour, it's baker's flour, then 12 gram of salt, 3 grams of yeast. The yeast is optional. And then we put some seeds in it. So it's really up to you what you like to use. But we use 40 grams of pumpkin seeds, then 40 grams of linseed seeds, and 40 grams of sunflower seeds. And you have got your starter, you prepared last night, and you also need 400 grams of warm water. So basically the procedure is you put the water in, you put your starter in, and then everything else, and let it run. So let's start. You put the warm water into the bowl. As always, when you put the water in first, the flour and the dough won't stick to the edge of the bowl. So then we use the scraper, put the starter in. As you can see, it's very airy, the starter, because the fermentation from last night. Okay, and then we add the flour. We add the wheat flour. We add wheat flour so there is some gluten development, because the rye and the spelt don't have much gluten, and it becomes more bready when you put the wheat flour in. Add the salt. We add the yeast, and then the seeds. That's really up to you. You can add anything you wish or any of your favorites. And then we put it into the machine. Here we go. And for this, we use the rubber paddle. So we don't use the dough hook, because the dough is quite wet, and it only needs a few minutes, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, running, because there is no gluten development. And you don't want to overrun the rye flour. Okay, let's put it up and put it on slow speed for a minute. I put it on 2. The scale is up to 10 until the flour has started incorporating, so we don't make a big mess. And then we turn it up. And basically you will see it mixes really well, and it just comes a tiny bit loose from the edge. And that's enough. You don't have to mix it anymore. Turn it up on higher speed. Okay, and that's it. So now we turn it off. Take the bowl down. And we take the pedal out. And we undo the bowl. We wet our hands. Because it's much easier to take everything off when your hands are wet. And you just scrape it down with your fingers. Get in the wash. And then we scrape the edges down. So we scrape the edges down. And this we let sit for half an hour. Put a little tea towel on top, or you can put glad wrap on top if you wish, but we just let it relax and rest for half an hour. And then we put it into the baking mold. All right, I'll see you in half an hour. All right, so half an hour later, we are ready to put it into the baking dish. So basically what we have done is a baking dish, any size you've got. We have buttered, liberally buttered, lots of butter in there. So the butter ensures that it won't stick to it. So now we don't put the bread on the bench, we just put it straight into the mold. Very easy, very straightforward. So what we need is to wet the card a bit. The dough doesn't stick to it. So we just scoop it out. Scoop that out and put it into the baking dish. It's very straightforward. And you just have to basically spread it out evenly. And that's it. It's quite a clean dough. It doesn't stick lots. So yeah, that's it. So now we wet our hands. And we just push it down into the mold. So you don't get any air holes. And then the dough can rise evenly. All right, so that's this. So the dough is like this. Now we dust it with rye flour. So you get the nice cracks on top. When it rises, it opens, you see the little cracks, and then it's ready to bake. All right, so I just flour it quite generously. All right, so that's it. Here we go. That's it. So now we put it in the oven. We just put it in the oven with the light on to make it proof. Yeah, so because outside it's not really warm enough. You can leave it here, but then it will take about 4 or 5 hours. Now we put it in the oven with the lights on. It only going to take about 2 hours. Okay, I'll see you in about 2 hours. 2 hours later, as you can see, the bread has risen nicely. You can see the little cracks up the top, which shows you that it's ready to go into the oven. So the oven is at temperature 220 degrees. Let's put it in. So we put it in the middle shelf and we give it a splash of water and it's in for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we open it up, let the steam out and give it another 10 minutes. Okay, the 10 minutes are finished, so let's open the door and let the steam out. So, and now we give it another 10 minutes and then we turn the temperature down. Right, so now it's 10 minutes, the 10 minutes are up. We give it another 10 minutes on 180. And after that, we just turn it out onto a tray. So the last 10 minutes has finished, so let's make it 30 minutes all up. So now we take it out and put it on a tray. Put it on a tray. And we give it 25 minutes on 180 degrees. see you in half an hour or 25 minutes. Okay, so the time is up and the bread should be ready. Oh, very nice. Okay, here we go. Look at that. So now we let it cool down. Ideally, you let it cool down overnight and the sourdough develops more and there's more flavor. But to show you, we let it cool down for an hour and then we cut it. Okay, so let's cut the bread. It's still warm. As I said before, you should really leave it for the next day. You only cut the end. Here we go. Now look at that. You can see pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. It's quite dense, but it's still very light. So, yeah, it smells just a slightly bit sour. You can, if you just do a sourdough without the yeast and you let it rise slower, then the sourness will increase. So, but we quite like a low sour level in the bread. So, yeah, please have a go. Copy the recipe, and I'm sure that's your start of your journey with bread. So as always, like, subscribe, and follow us for the next recipe. And if you've got any question, please leave a comment down below. All right, see you in the next video.